Hello everyone! Multicolor printing isn't always a simple matter, and I'd like to show you what pitfalls to avoid and how to get around them. To show you all this, I propose this part of the Saturn V. This is an imposing piece, 22 cm in diameter and 34 cm high. To print in multicolor, you need to break down your part into color type for this piece, white, red and black. I'd like to make it clear that I don't want to use a perch tower, as I wouldn't have enough space on the prusa bed. At this stage I am already guessing what problems I encounter. In black, the dimension of the small square are small, 5 to 3 mm approx. The nozzle is only going to fill this small space and risk making gaps. In red, for the letter, it's even worse, about 3 to 2 mm. I can't imagine how a 0.6 mm nozzle will be able to fill this space. But never mind, let's try to print this piece as is. I import these three parts into the slicer and let's see what happens. You can see the small filling that will be made. Each time the nozzle fills it up, the color by color. Here's the principle. Now, after printing, for the result, I stopped printing in the middle of the process because the result was so bad. So what? How can we prove all this? The idea is to provide more surface area for printing. In the case of this part, I had material in the inside because it won't be visible. And I do the same for the letter. Note that the addition of material stops at each letter head, so as not to create a color change with each layer. The final modeling result. In the slicer, the modifications will be as follows. We can see that the path will be longer and, above all the letters will be made on a nozzle path. You can see here how the printing will work. Will this be enough to achieve better results? Let's move on to printing. Here we go. I let the piece finish because the result is there. The rendering is what I expect. The inner filling and the letter. I'm now going to tackle this big piece, which will also use the color white, black and red. Dimension about 28 cm high and 28 in diameter. I've already modified the red lettering for the better result. But here's something I'm having trouble with. These black and white markings are very small, and because of the alternating colors of the same layer, it's not possible to add material as with the letters. You can see that it's just 1 mm wide. So, before going any further, I decided to make a test piece. Here it is, which one part white and the other black. In In the slicer, it goes fast, and we discover the alternating white and black layer. I doubt it will go well. Let's move on printing and the final result. It's mediocre. The printer did the job, but it's mediocre. So, how can we improve the result, if at all possible? I had the idea to try something. I lay down a kind of staple with a thin layer. Here, 0.25 millimeters. Then lay down another one every other layer. Here's for the white over the entire eye of the motif. And the same for black, offset by one layer on the black side. From the outside, it doesn't change anything. Moving on to the test piece. I place the staple in the slicer. I leave you to observe the result. You can clearly see the alternation of the white and black layers. Now the print result. It's not magic, but the principle worked. There's nothing missing, and keep in mind that this piece is tiny. Compared to the first try, it's still better. I decided to go ahead and print the original part using these techniques. 21 hours of suspense. On the printing, more than 10 hours have already passed, and here we see the printing of the white layer with the staple system. When the piece is finished, I don't know if the staple system really adds anything. I'll have to reprint this part without the staple to compare, but I won't try it. I hope this video has given you a better understanding of the particularities of multicolor printing. So forgive my French accent. Bye bye!